So now, in this chapter rather, we will review the concepts involving values, attitudes, and satisfaction. We will also discuss job involvement and job commitment, which are two of the most important attitudes in the workplace aside from job satisfaction. These concepts will be discussed by 2BSBAB. So if you want to know more, just keep on watching.
Guys, I'm Erica B. Garcia, 2B is Baby. My topic for today is values. What is values? Values refers to the importance of a person attaches to the things of ideas that serve as a guide to action. Values are enduring belief. The one's move of conduct is better than the opposite move of conduct. It simply means that values are individual belief that motivate people to act one way or another. They serve as a guide of human behavior. For me, my example of values is, my personal values is determination. Why determination? Because this means you never give up. You really ensure that you move forward, completing whatever it is you decide to do. That's all. Thank you.
In the question, how people learn values, let's first define what values is. Values refers to the importance a person attaches to things or ideas that will serve as a guide actions. So in this, people can learn values through their interaction to the world or to their environment. For example, they can learn values through the people they interact with, like to their family, to their friends, to their neighbors, fellow students, co-workers, like that. As people interact with each other, they can learn a lot of things. Another example is when they watch TV or read some books, they can also get an idea that will serve as their guide actions.
Hi guys, my name is Ann Manuel. Okay, now we proceed to the question how people learn values. Okay, values are not inborn, they are learned. As they grow, people learn values through any or all of the following. Number one, modeling, which parents, teachers, friends are those people who become a model to a person who would later exhibit good behavior in the workplace. Next is the communication of attitude is one of the ways in which values are learned through communication. Next is unstated but implied attitudes. Values may also affected by attitudes that are not stated but are implied by the way of action. Next is the religion. Values also learn in through religion. For example, the just and fair treatment of the people, that is values that is taught by press or the minister.
So, there are four types of values. Number one, achievement. Number two, helping and concern for others. Number three, honesty. And number four, fairness. So, I'm going to discuss about number one and two. So, number one is achievement. Value that pertains to getting things done and working hard to accomplish goals. So, achieving the aim or the task gives greater personal satisfaction than receiving praise or recognition. For example, you want to have an achievement to finish all the works given to you before the deadlines and you did it. Thus, it gives you unexplained happiness because you did it. So number two is helping and concern for others. The person concerned with other people and providing assistance to those who need help. Helping and caring for another is so powerful because it creates deeper bonds as individuals lean on each other for emotional support that is important in our work. For example, you have an office mate that is struggling with his work and you help him to finish up some stuff that good deeds. You did will make a nice relationship between the two of you.
So there are four types of values. Number one is achievement. Number two is helping and concern for others. Number three is honesty. Number four is fairness. So I am going to discuss about the number three and the number four. So number three is honesty. It indicates the person concerned for telling the truth and doing what he thinks is right. So in order to gain the trust of your colleagues in an organization, we should always tell them the truth and not lie to them. With that, You will not going to just earn their trust, but they will also respect you as their colleagues. So number 4 is fairness. It indicates the person's concern for impartiality and fairness for all concerned. So in an organization, all employees should be treated equally and be recognized through their efforts and accomplishment. And there should always no bias.
Individual values and organizational values. Individual values is how an individual lives her life and the principles that she follows as she lives by. While organizational values are the principle that the organization or firm follows no matter what. Value congruence. This happens when individual value and the organization's value match up. And value incongruence happens when your individual value and the organization's value doesn't match up. For example, as an individual, doing work alone because you think that you can be more productive than working with others. But the organization you are in values collaboration and teamwork more than working alone. So that's when the value incongruence occur.
Espoused values and enacted values. So, espoused values are the values that an organization or person states that it believes in and is desired, while enacted values are the values that organization members perceive to be actually valued by the organization. So, espoused values are the publicly stated values and standards of an organization and can be found in mission statements, objectives, goals, and vision statements, while enacted values are the standards and norms that are actually exhibited by a company and organization employees on a daily basis.
Two types of values are instrumental values and terminal values. Instrumental values are the means by which we achieve our end goals. This kind of value refers to types of behavior or means in reaching terminal values. This also means the worth of things that provides means to one's goals and also led to satisfaction of human needs and works. Example of these values include self-sufficiency, courageousness, being obedient, being polite, and honesty. Terminal values are defined as our end goals. These values are those that we think are the most essential throughout our existence. This also refers to those that we consider most desirable. Example of these values include freedom, equality, family security, self-respect, and happiness.
An attitude refers to our opinions, beliefs, and feelings about aspects of our environment. Also could be generally defined as a way person to respond to his or her environment, either positively or negatively. Some attitudes are dangerous element in the workplace, one that can spread to those closest to the employee and affect everyone's performance. Positive attitudes are usually manifested in a person's behavior. People with a good attitudes are active and productive and do what they can to improve the mood of those around them. In much the same way, a person who displays negative attitudes will behave accordingly. People with this type of attitudes towards work and towards works may likewise affect those around them.
Components of attitude. First is cognitive component, which refers to the opinion or belief segment of an attitude. Example nito is, my boss is greedy. Ang statement na yan is example ng cognitive component. Second is affective component, which refers to the emotional or feeling segment of an attitude. Ang example naman nito is, I idolize my boss. Yang statement na yan is example ng affective component. Third is behavioral component. It refers to the intention to behave in a certain way towards someone or something. Ang example naman ito is, as a employee, I have requested a vacation to my superiors. So that statement is example of an behavioral component. That is my topic.
Differences in personal disposition. So as we all know, every people have a unique or distinct attitude. People differ in their personal disposition. So first, we will define what is the meaning of personal disposition. It represents the true personality are unique to the person and represents subtle differences among persons. People have an attitudes that can be positively affecting and or negatively affective attitudes. First, positive affectivity. It refers to personal characteristics of employees that inclines to be predisposed to be satisfied at work. People have this positive affectivity are courteous, cheerful, upbeat, and optimistic. Second, negative affectivity. Employees with this kind of personal characteristics inclines to be predisposed to be dissatisfied at work. People have this negative affectivity are irritable, downbeat, pessimistic, and sometimes abrasive. Personal disposition benefits managers and supervisors in their decision regarding training, hiring, and promotion.
How attitudes are formed? Attitude is a emotion or belief over a particular object, events, issues, or a person. They are formed over time as we expose ourselves in our environment. We adapt or we apply what we learn. So therefore, attitude is a learning opinion, not just reaction or judgment towards something. And as we adapt, we gain learning about our surroundings and how environment works in a particular events, issues, and persons.
Effects of employees' attitude. Attitudes provide clues to the behavioral intentions or inclinations of an employee. The manner in which a person will act can be gleaned from his attitude. Employee attitudes may be classified as either positive job attitudes or negative job attitudes. Example of positive job attitudes: being ready, available, and willing to get the job done and done well. Should be traits the employees keep on the front burner. Examples of negative job attitudes naman in the workplace can be an employee consistently coming late, carelessly performing tasks, laziness, rudeness to other employees or management, spreading or creating rumors, or anything that you consider threatening to a positive workplace culture or environment.
Job satisfaction is a measure of workers' contentedness with their job, whether they like the job or individual aspects or facets of jobs such as nature of work or supervision. Job satisfaction can be measured in cognitive, evaluative, affective, or emotional and be behavioral components. Job satisfaction. Someday in the future, mag-a-apply ka ng trabaho. Once na nag-a-apply ka ng trabaho, dapat alam mo yung position na babagay sa'yo. I mean, mag-fit in sa skills and abilities mo. For you to be able to satisfy yourself. Not only for yourself, but also in the organization na pinagtatrabahuan mo. Kasi once na gustong-gusto mo yung trabaho mo at yung position na meron ka sa isang organization, doon ka nagkakaroon ng magandang performance. At mas lalo mo pang mamahalin yung trabaho meron ka ng buong puso. Kaya doon ka nagkakaroon ng satisfaction. Kaya kung nasatisfy ka sa job na meron ka, ganun din syempre yung organization na pinagtatrabahuan mo. At dahil dyan, mas magagawa at mapapabuti mo pa ang trabaho mo ng buong puso. I mean, you will become passionate because you are satisfied with the job positions you have within the organizations. Yun lang po yung job satisfaction para sa akin. Yun lang po yung pagkakaintindi ko sa job satisfaction. That's all. Thank you po.
Job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is the level of contentment of an employee to fill their job. It is their satisfaction inside the company and organization. So it is their positive response to on a organization. It has an impact on a customer and employee, also to an organization. So it benefits employee, not only employee but also the customer and organization. So job satisfaction benefits both. So number one, it helps to create better environment. So we can be responsible in our actions inside the organization. And number two, employee satisfaction can lead to customer satisfaction. So the customer experiences what services we can give to them so that they can feel satisfied. And growth. It helps us grow to being to be an effective and productive employee inside the organization. And a happy employee may lead to a loyal customer. And job satisfaction also promotes teamwork. We work as one. We can achieve our goal as one. So that job satisfaction is important in an organization.
What is job involvement? Job involvement is a psychological and emotional extent in which someone, an individual, participates in his or her work, profession, and company. It is the degree in which job is central to person's identity. From an individual perspective, job involvement constitutes the key to motivation, performance, personal growth, and job satisfaction. People with high degree of job involvement doesn't want to be late at work. They always want to be on time. They tend to work overtime and really strive hard to earn high performance rate. People who are really involved with their job, it causes the workers to really enjoy what they are doing, enjoying their job, and also it reduces the stress and the fatigue in the company.
So, ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng continuous commitment? It refers to the employee's tendency to remain in an organization because he cannot afford to leave. It relates also to how much employees feel the need to stay at their organization. The reason for their commitment lies in their need to stay with the organization. They understand that their salary and fringe benefits won't improve if they move to another organization. At ang magandang example dito is ang isang employees, which is the employee's salary and benefits get him here a nice house in a nice area. That's why she stay in the organization because he or she needs to.
Another type of organizational commitment is the normative commitment. When we say normative commitment, this refers to an obligation of an employee to remain with the company or organization for moral or ethical reason. In other words, it exists when there is a sense that staying is the right or moral thing to do. For example, the company has helped their employees' family in tough times. With this reason, the employee feels a kind of obligation to stay with the organization to repay the debt. The person believes that he or she owes it to the organization and it is the right thing to do. Normative commitment also reflects an internalized norm developed before the person joins the organization through family or other socialization processes. One example is, this organization deserves my loyalty. And according to Mayer and Allen in 1991, employees with a high level of normative commitment feel they ought to remain with the organization.